Hey everybody, it's Wolfpack again. Just want to drop a quick video working on drops and stuff that I've been working on. I know everybody's been really interested or have been concerned about the deal between Q and 8chan and 4chan and back and forth or whatever. Supposedly, based on what the information I'm gathering, is that it's been worked out. I'm not sure yet. I don't think we should be sure yet either. I want to preface this by saying that number one is like I've told everybody, I take a common sense approach. I don't get very analytical because I go common what common sense tells me. If we all try to get too analytical, then we get lost in the sauce and we miss the points. So what I try to do is I try to add common sense to what the research that I have, so maybe that more people can understand what we're seeing happening. Okay, today, what I found out today was on the 16th. Okay, the main thing that I found out today was that that the presidential library for Obama has not even started being built. I don't think it's going to be finished till 2012. However, presidential papers or documents cannot be released through the FOIA until 5 years. Now, this documentation has been known, or have been not rumored, but it is known to contain information about Susan Rice's role in all of this. Are these the documents that we're needing to be provided to Congress? Are these the ones that they're asking for? And are these the ones that are being protected by the government so that our Congress cannot get a hold of them? In other words, are they utilizing time to hide these documents so they in the investigation because they couldn't find all the documents? Well, I don't know, but I suspect that that's what's happening. And it seems to me that in 5 years, that these documents will not only explain but give us all the answers to um, to what's actually happening in government today. Okay, Q refers to also within the 72 hours. That 72-hour period time frame started yesterday. What I'm looking at is a 72-hour window is going to encompass Monday during the day. We are going to see, or should see, if I got my information right, at least 10 public officials decide not to run or face indictment. 10 congressmen, or they will leave office immediately, or they will decide not to run again. So this is the start. This is just part of the storm. Storm. Everybody keeps asking, when's it going to hit? When's it going to hit? It's gradually hitting, and we're not paying attention. Now, another report we got out that's out on Twitter was that there was helicopters sighted on the freeway in Corpus Christi in some kind of attack formation. I looked at these photos and I determined that no, these are not an attack formation. This is a part of a drill, and this drill was meant to highlight emergency procedures in case of a natural disaster, such as a hurricane or something along that line. This is expected behavior after we've experienced the hurricane season that we did last year. The actual government is actually getting involved and actually coordinating with local officials. That's one of the things we didn't have, was coordination between the government and local officials. I know this because the SPCA, the animal people, were there 2 days prior to Red Cross even getting there, or even FEMA. And I know because I was down there pulling people out, so you can trust that from a source. So these, I think, are going to be the missing documentation, and also kind of debunks the fact is that there's a military operation. Also, on top of that point, I forgot to mention is that there is a naval base in Corpus Christi, Texas. It is shut down. Okay, if it's not, it was supposed to be shut down a long time ago, and if it's reopened, I have no word of it. I don't believe that it is. However, it was an Air Force base, and that it is still got running airports. So if you were going to stage something in Corpus or in the Houston area, you would have used this naval base because nobody even remembers it's there. So it doesn't make sense just to land them on the middle of the highway where everybody can see, when they could land them at a naval base. No one had ever known that they were there. So everybody's saying that this is it. No, something's up. Yeah, but it's not that yet. Okay. Expect a shift from all of our government issues and all the government problems and all of the speculation, everything that's going on in the government. Expect a shift, a false flag to be thrown out into the economy. In other words, what I'm saying is that they are going to try, they're getting desperate enough to try to refocus people's attention on something else besides what we see happening to our government. In other words, they're trying to get to a space to where they can get some breathing room and get their story straight amongst all of them, because they didn't realize that this would happen on such a magnitude. One or two, okay, we can explain that away, but this is happening on a higher magnitude than they ever could possibly, and they can't keep up. So what they're doing is they're trying to find some breathing space so they can regroup, circle the wagons, and then start defending themselves again. The reason why I mentioned the economy is because the Fed's going to meet for 2018, and they're going to decide whether we raise interest rates for the first quarter or the first half of the year. Now, the market warrants 25 basis points and going up. Okay, where this is coming into play is that with Trump and his economy, and it's certainly going up. It's great news for everybody. It keeps the economy flowing. However, we're bottoming out on this market because the fact is that even though we're retaining higher stock prices and the earnings salary, if you look at the graph, okay, this is the stock value, and this is actually right here is what companies are actually earning. So in other words, everyone who knows this knows that they were due for a market correction. A market correction to the point to where it balances out. And the scary point about this is what's happening right now with the government. That this could really honestly cause a panic in the market, because the market will be unsure of itself. It'll be unsure of itself because it's actually going to be affected by government, because we don't even know who's going to be running next year. So in other words, we don't have no stability in government going into 2018. So with that fear, the market is going to become very bearish, which that means there's not going to be any money moving anywhere. The reason for the Fed hike is going to be for 25 basis points to get people moving and people shaking and start money transpiring between people. Right now we've reached the peak, but our profits haven't increased and people's wages aren't going up, which brings in another thing, which is inflation. I'm off the freaking target. But anyway, expect a change from the focus on government to the economy because they're being desperate. Now, the main thing that I want to cover here is that, well, I say main thing about everything. Anyway, I'm sorry, guys. I'm trying to get my thoughts together. Q references Snow White. He also mentions the book Run Silent, Run Deep. Okay? Now, anybody who has worked in intelligence or has been working around intelligence, there's always a nickname that we use that when we're going quiet, or we're off the grid, or I'm off for a little bit. In other words, they're on to me. I'm getting warning signs from places that I don't like, that I don't want the attention from certain people, things of this nature. So in other words, people are getting close. This is why the Snow White drill is, because you're Snow White. I ain't done nothing. In which Q has put himself in a great place, because I ain't done nothing. I just share some information. I don't even know where I got it. Was where he's trying to stay. So for a period of time, he's going to run silent, he's going to run deep, and he's going to run, he's not going to be on the radar. He'll still be operating, but he's underneath the radar, so he's not going to draw any attention. Another reason for him going quiet is because the fact is that he's noticing, and what he actually wants to relay to us is that he needs to take a breath. We need to take a breath and start getting down and doing some research instead of just quoting what he says and trying to keep up with what he's saying, but also understanding what he's saying. I've said this before. The way the information is dropped, it takes some research. I was watching Tracy Ben's channel today. She's great. I want to give her a shout out. I was watching her station today, and like she was saying, is that um, she's trying to take the same approach, the common sense, to find out, you know, what it's all about. She said she spent like 3 or 4 hours searching on this one topic. I won't mention what it is, but searching on this one topic and then get her nowhere. And she's like, I mean, I know how frustrating that is. So, like I said, stay the course. Remember the cause. Now, this is where I believe that we're heading on the first. I'm sorry, on Monday. There is going to be much conversation about Jeff Sessions coming out, because apparently he's been briefed over this weekend on the seriousness of this nature. Where Sessions been? I don't freaking know. I listened to his speech the other day, and the man, he stumbles worse than I do on his words. I can't believe what he's saying, because he's making it up as he goes. Look at the video of him and see. See if you've had the same ideas that I do about this guy. Where in the hell's he been? Well, it's getting to the point, like I said, we're draining the swamp. RQ is helping us drain the swamp to the point to where, you know what? They're running out of excuses. Okay? They're running out of people to blame, basically. I don't know if you knew this, but Cheryl Mills got immunity from her testimony. We don't even know what that testimony is. No one's ever showed us that. Lynch has been gone, and she won't even determine what the meeting on the tarmac was for that she met with Clinton. I mean, some of this people, just common sense. You know, I mean, just common sense. Because does that look right to you? Why is Bill Clinton meeting on the tarmac and Jessica Lynch, or with Lynch? Not Jessica Lynch, anywhere name. No, I'm sorry. Susan Rice, Lynch, even meeting with Susan Rice. What is the urgency? And why can't we gather all these people in a building and have them have a discussion? Well, because they don't want to get caught on tape. Speaking of that, I just got some intel news. Okay, it's not like really a big secret, guys. It's like I know somebody in the FBI, the CIA. I just know guys that when we worked in the military, that, you know what, there were certain things we were taught. Okay, it's not this. Everybody knows it too. I'm just reminding you. Okay, during this period of time, I need you to take a look and see. Remove one of these. Okay, this is my battery to my phone. Okay, tell you how stealthy I am and how I try to stay off the radar. This is my phone. Okay, I know, came over on the Mayflower, but this is my phone. This is the one that I use. This is a military version. It's Sprint. Used to have the push to talk, but I don't have that feature anymore. I do no internet business at all whatsoever on this phone. My warning to you guys is that people are going to start watching you because of the fact of the research you're doing. I want to remind you of that. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm not trying to mess with your head. I'm just saying that these devices can be utilized, and I've seen how they're set up to where they can actually record you when you're not even on the phone. Of course they're going to record your conversations when you answer the phone. One telltale sign is that when your battery gets low, okay, if it starts blinking on and off more than 3 times, you've been compromised. If it just goes, when the battery lows, if it just shuts off, you're good to go. But if it starts flashing more than 3 times, your phone's been compromised somehow. It's either been hacked or somebody else is knowing some of your business things supposed to be knowing. So check that out. Second thing is that for some of my friends that are experiencing this, remember the 3-turn rule. If you ever experience this, what the 3-turn rule is that if you figure out that if you think that you're being followed, or you think that somebody's on your tail, or they're monitoring your travels, go down to your first intersection, make a left. Go down to the next intersection, make another left. Go down to the next section and make another left. Okay. What that means is the fact is they don't know how many lefts you're going to take, and they're going to ruin their cover, because the fact is they're going to think, well, did he go right or did he go left? because sooner or later they're going to lose track of you during that little path that you just created. And if you see if you see the same car twice, back to bed, get the hell out of Dodge, okay? And those are kind of going off of what I talk about with you, but I have people approach me with concerns about I'm getting too close to this Q shit. When they're going to start paying attention to me, they already are, okay? Like I said on the drift, the economy. Basically, the last thing I'll say is that they're getting desperate, guys. They're looking at anything else, anything, any item, any way that they can think of to draw our attention elsewhere. Okay. Mandalay Bay, I keep mentioning that. Remember, hashtag Mandalay Bay, please. Let's don't forget. Mandalay Bay may or may have not have been a part of this deflection. I believe that it was, but I believe that the investigation was halted because of the fact is that the people that were actually in charge or could be indicted in this same kind of crap. This has got FBI all over it. Mandalay Bay, the FBI now, the documents that they've received, the documents that they've held covered up, the Comey changing of wording that would have decided whether Hillary Clinton was actually found guilty and held accountable or put her in front of a grand jury was manipulated by Strzok. There are things we know. So we know these things and we're piecing them together. So let's keep on going and let's actually work together. Even if you think nobody's watching on YouTube, as long as it takes one person. It takes one person that's doing their research with somebody else. It takes one person to spread word. I don't care about mine. I don't care about the subscribers I get. I don't really care about that. What I want to find out is that what the hell is really going on. I'm not the smartest individual in the world, okay? I can't even spell algorithm. But I'm smart enough to know something's going on. And it ain't right. So I have to start asking questions and relying on individuals like you to share that information so I'll enlighten me. But at some point in time, there's got to be a buffer from all the individuals who are dealing with the algorithms to the general public to explain to them what they actually are seeing and what's really happening. Our government's supposed to do that, but they're not doing such a very good job. So Monday, time to keep your eye on the news. Not mainstream media. They're going to water it down, and they're going to get caught with their pants down too. And then that's when the deflection starts all over. So stay here tuned to social media. You're going to get it first. My suggestions are, number one is go to Twitter first, because Twitter actually gets the news out. It takes Gab a little bit longer to recognize it. And also YouTube, with the censorship we have, it's very hard for people to get videos out. And shit, nobody goes live anymore. So realize that's how we get the message out. Be ready for it on Monday. I think that Monday's going to be a big day, and it's going to continue out through the week. So you guys have a good evening. Thanks for listening. Thanks for the subscribers. Take your battery out of your damn phones. Okay, Big Brother is watching. Okay, and also have a great evening. Stay the course. Remember the cause. It's worth it. We may not know it now. Sit back and laugh, because in about 6 months, it's all going to make sense. Trust me on that. This is Wolfpack. I'm out.